If you're a guy over 40 and your erections aren't as strong, as reliable, or as fast as they used to be, I need you to hear this. Because what you're about to do next could make things a whole lot worse, or a whole lot better. Most men think they need a pill, a shot, or some extreme fix. But here's the truth nobody tells you. A lot of erection problems at this age come down to vitamin mistakes, either taking the wrong ones, taking them the wrong way, or not taking them at all. And if you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, the stakes are even higher. Today, I'm going to show you 3 specific vitamins and exactly how to take them so your body can respond fast, naturally, and the way it was designed to. I'm Dr. Camila Hayes, and I'm a men's health specialist. For years, I've worked with men 40 and up who feel like their bodies started changing without their permission. Low energy, stubborn belly fat, brain fog, and weaker erections that don't cooperate when it matters most. A huge number of the men I help also deal with diabetes or blood sugar issues, which quietly wreck hormones and blood flow if you don't address them the right way. My job isn't to shame you or throw pills at the problem. My job is to help you understand what's actually going on inside your body and show you practical, realistic ways to get your performance, confidence, and control back, starting with the basics most men and even most doctors overlook. Here's what we're going to cover today. First, I'm going to explain why erections start getting weaker as men age, especially if blood sugar, stress, or hormones are even a little out of whack. Then, I'll break down the 3 vitamins that matter most for strong, firm erections, and this is important. Not just what they are, but exactly how and when to take them so they actually work fast. I'll also walk you through the most common mistakes men make that completely cancel out the benefits, and make sure you stay with me until the end, because the last vitamin and timing strategy is something almost no one talks about, yet it can be a game changer for men over 40 who feel like nothing has worked so far. Before we get into the vitamins themselves, you've got to understand why this even becomes an issue in the first place, because erections don't just disappear overnight. This problem sneaks up on men, especially after 40, and most guys blame the wrong thing. Here's the deal. An erection is not just about sex drive, it's a full-body event. Your brain, your hormones, your nerves, your blood vessels, and your metabolism all have to work together. Think of it like turning on a high-pressure fire hose. If even one part of the system is weak, low hormone signal, stiff blood vessels, inflamed nerves, poor circulation, you don't get full pressure. You get a half-strength response, or nothing at all. As men age, testosterone naturally declines. That's normal. But what's not normal is how fast blood flow and nitric oxide signaling drop when blood sugar is high, stress is chronic, sleep is poor, or inflammation is constant. This is why men with diabetes or insulin resistance struggle earlier and harder. High blood sugar damages the lining of your blood vessels, making them stiff and less responsive. That means less blood gets where it needs to go, when it needs to go there. On top of that, your body becomes less efficient at absorbing and using nutrients as you get older. You could be eating pretty healthy and still be deficient in key vitamins that control circulation, nerve signaling, and hormone activation. And no one tells men this, they just hand you a prescription and move on. Another big mistake men make is assuming erections are purely psychological. Look, mindset matters, but if the hardware isn't getting enough blood or the nerves aren't firing correctly, positive thinking isn't going to fix it. This is a biological issue first, and a confidence issue second. What really frustrates me is that most men don't realize how fixable this can be when you support the body properly. Vitamins aren't magic pills, but when you take the right ones the right way, they help your body do what it already wants to do. Improve blood flow, support testosterone, protect nerves, reduce inflammation, restore responsiveness. So when I talk about these 3 vitamins today, I'm not talking about random supplements off a store shelf. I'm talking about targeted tools that support the exact systems erections depend on, especially for men over 40, and especially for men dealing with blood sugar issues. Once you understand that, everything we cover next will make a whole lot more sense. First, vitamin D, the foundation most men are missing. Look, fellas, if I check labs on 10 men over 40, at least 7 of them are low in vitamin D, and this matters way more than most people realize. Vitamin D isn't just a bone vitamin, it acts like a hormone in your body. It directly influences testosterone production, nitric oxide release, and blood vessel flexibility. Here's what's happening inside your body. Low vitamin D means your testosterone signal is weaker, your blood vessels don't relax the way they should, and your nitric oxide production drops. Nitric oxide is what tells blood vessels in the penis to open wide and fill fast. Without it, erections feel soft, slow, or unreliable. Why does this hit men over 40 harder? Because as we age, we spend less time in the sun, our skin produces less vitamin D, and our kidneys activate less of it. Add diabetes or insulin resistance, and vitamin D gets burned through even faster. What most men think is, I'll just take a cheap multivitamin. That rarely works. What actually works is vitamin D3, taken consistently, with a fat-containing meal so it absorbs. This is not a once-in-a-while supplement. This is a daily foundation vitamin if you want reliable performance. Second, magnesium, the relaxation mineral that drives blood flow. This one surprises a lot of guys. Magnesium is one of the most important minerals for erections, yet it's one of the most deficient nutrients in modern diets. Magnesium helps your blood vessels relax. Think of it like loosening a tight knot in a garden hose. If the hose is stiff, pressure stays low. When it relaxes, flow improves. Magnesium also supports nerve signaling and helps regulate blood sugar, which is huge for men with diabetes. As men age, magnesium loss increases through stress, caffeine, alcohol, and poor sleep. And when magnesium is low, blood vessels stay tense, nerves misfire, and erections suffer. Here's the mistake I see. Men take magnesium in the morning and feel groggy or off. Magnesium works best in the evening because it supports relaxation and recovery. Taken at night, it helps sleep, lowers cortisol, and indirectly improves testosterone signaling the next day. This isn't about megadosing, it's about consistent use of a well-absorbed form so your vascular system can actually respond when arousal kicks in. Third, zinc, the testosterone and libido gatekeeper. If vitamin D is the foundation, zinc is the ignition switch. Zinc is essential for testosterone production, sperm health, and sexual desire. Low zinc equals low drive and weaker erections, period. Inside the body, zinc helps convert cholesterol into testosterone. It also keeps estrogen from creeping too high in men. As testosterone drops and estrogen rises, erections become less firm and harder to maintain. Men over 40 lose zinc faster due to inflammation, gut absorption issues, and medications, especially diabetes medications. Add sweating, workouts, or stress, and zinc depletion accelerates. What most guys get wrong is thinking more is better. It's not. Zinc works best when taken with food, and it needs balance. Too much zinc can throw off other minerals and backfire. The goal is restoration, not overload. When zinc levels normalize, men often notice stronger morning erections first. That's a huge sign the system is waking back up. Fourth, timing matters more than you think. Here's the part almost nobody explains. You can take the right vitamins and still get poor results if you take them at the wrong time. Vitamin D works best earlier in the day with a meal that contains fat. Magnesium works best in the evening. Zinc works best with food, but not at the same time as magnesium, because they compete for absorption. Most men dump everything into one pill organizer and wonder why nothing changes. That's like pouring gas, oil, and coolant into the same tank and hoping the engine runs better. Spacing these nutrients properly allows your body to actually use them. This is especially important for men over 40 because absorption efficiency is already lower. Fifth, blood sugar is either helping or hurting you. If your blood sugar is high, none of this works as well. Period. High glucose damages nerves and blood vessels that erections depend on. Here's the truth. Erections are a vascular event. If blood sugar is uncontrolled, even the best supplements struggle to overcome the damage. The good news is these vitamins actually help blood sugar regulation when taken correctly. Magnesium improves insulin sensitivity. Vitamin D supports glucose metabolism. Zinc supports pancreatic function. This is why men with diabetes often see improvement when they address deficiencies the right way. Not overnight miracles, but steady, real progress. Sixth, what to stop doing immediately. Let me be very direct here. If you're taking random supplements from social media ads, mixing stimulants, or relying on alcohol to relax, you're working against yourself. Alcohol depletes magnesium and zinc. Poor sleep crushes testosterone. Late-night sugar spikes kill nitric oxide signaling. Most men think erections fail because they're getting older. In reality, it's because daily habits quietly sabotage the system. Once you remove the roadblocks and support the body properly, erections often improve faster than men expect, not because of hype, but because the body finally has what it needs to respond. Let me tell you about a patient I'll call Mark. Mark was 52 years old, married, 2 kids, working a high-stress management job. On the outside, things looked fine. On the inside, he was frustrated, embarrassed, and honestly starting to lose confidence. Mark came to me because his erections had become unpredictable. Sometimes they were okay, sometimes they faded halfway through, and sometimes they didn't show up at all. Morning erections were basically gone. He also had low energy, poor sleep, and borderline type 2 diabetes that he was watching, but not really managing. When we dug into his labs, a few things stood out immediately. His vitamin D was low. His magnesium was borderline deficient. His zinc was well below optimal. Testosterone wasn't terrible, but it was drifting downward, and his blood sugar was constantly spiking and crashing. Instead of jumping straight to medications, we focused on fixing the foundation. I had him start vitamin D3 with his largest meal earlier in the day. Magnesium went in the evening to help sleep and lower stress. Zinc was taken with food, separate from magnesium. No crazy doses, just consistency and proper timing. We also cleaned up a couple of habits, cutting back late-night alcohol, tightening up blood sugar control, and prioritizing sleep. Within a few weeks, Mark noticed his sleep improving first. Then his energy during the day picked up. About a month in, he mentioned something that made him smile. Morning erections were back. Not every single day, but often enough to notice. By the 3-month mark, his erections were stronger, more reliable, and his confidence had clearly returned. The biggest lesson Mark learned, and the one I want you to hear, is that his body wasn't broken, it was under-supported. Once we gave it what it needed, things started working again the way they should. Myth number 1. If I need vitamins for erections, something is seriously wrong with me. This one hurts a lot of guys. The truth is, modern life drains nutrients faster than ever. Stress, poor sleep, medications, processed foods, and blood sugar swings all deplete key vitamins. Needing support doesn't mean you're weak. It means your body is responding to the environment it's in. Ignoring deficiencies is what actually leads to bigger problems down the road. Myth number 2. I can just take one pill and fix everything. This idea comes from how erectile dysfunction drugs are marketed. But erections don't work like a light switch. They're more like a dimmer. Blood flow, nerves, hormones, and metabolism all influence the result. When men rely on a single pill and ignore the foundation, results stay inconsistent. Supporting the system works better than forcing it. Myth number 3. If my testosterone is normal, supplements won't help. Normal on a lab sheet doesn't always mean optimal for you. I see men with normal testosterone who still struggle because blood vessels are stiff, nitric oxide is low, or nerves are inflamed. Vitamins like D, magnesium, and zinc don't just raise numbers, they improve how the whole system communicates and responds. Here's the part nobody tells you. Most erection problems in men over 40 are not permanent, they're functional. That means they respond when you correct what's missing, remove what's blocking progress, and give the body time to adapt. First, erections change with age, because blood flow, hormones, and nerve signaling all take hits over time, especially if blood sugar or stress is high. This isn't a personal failure, it's a physiological shift. Second, vitamin D lays the foundation by supporting testosterone and nitric oxide, which your blood vessels need to open and fill properly. Third, magnesium helps blood vessels relax, supports nerve function, improves sleep, and makes erections more responsive, especially when taken in the evening. Fourth, zinc acts like the ignition switch for testosterone and libido, helping restore drive and firmness when levels are low. Fifth, timing matters. Taking the right vitamins the wrong way can cancel out the benefits. Proper spacing and consistency make all the difference. And finally, blood sugar control and daily habits either support erections or sabotage them. When you remove the roadblocks and support the system correctly, the body often responds faster than you expect. Now, if you found this helpful, do me a quick favor, hit the like button. It tells the algorithm this is information men actually need to hear. And if you're a guy over 40 who cares about your energy, hormones, and performance, make sure you subscribe to the Diabetes Health Clinic channel, because this is exactly what we focus on here. I also want you to comment below and tell me this. What's the one thing you've tried in the past that didn't work the way you hoped? I read those comments, and they helped me decide what to cover next. And if you're ready to go a step further, check the description below for my free men's health guide. It walks you through the exact foundations I use with my patients to support blood flow, hormones, and long-term performance, especially if you're dealing with diabetes or blood sugar issues. Grab it while it's free, and I'll see you on the inside.